Hi, YouTube. This is Alex Backman reporting and coming to you. I just stumbled upon two very important articles on the internet, and I'm going to refer to you to this website, Tracking the Leopard Meros. If I said it correctly, The Wisdom, Madness, and Folly of Satan's Sacrifices, which is an excellent website, by the way. On November 20th, I stumbled upon this great relink to an article that was published last year, I believe, on Revelation Now by Michael Arevna. So this is very telling indeed, and this obviously links to that original article, which is this one that's loading on your screen right now, Unmasking V, the Guerrilla Economist. Now, this guy who posed as a supposed economist and expert in financial investments and etc. Is a scam artist that works with Steve Quayle and the Hagmann and Hagmanns, basically, stealing money from people. They are frauds and liars, and basically they've been exposed already by Michael Arevna and other people. So I'm going to refer to you. The links are below in the description of this video, so you may read it for yourself. Okay? This is extremely important. Here, just this. After he hitched his wagon to Hagmann and Quayle, he began to change and substituted biblical values for his own monetary gain. So basically, this guy, Michael Arevna, writes about the economist V.G. Varghese, which is this man you see here, stealing from people, posing as an economist on alternative media, on supposed Christian alternative media, which is not at all Christian, because what Steve Quayle does, he's been on Coast to Coast, whatever, but he's been on Coast to Coast promoting this fraud of an economist and stealing from the elderly, using this supposed economist from roguemoney.net to promote Steve Quayle's business of buying supposed silver coins, which are in, well, anyway, they are scamming people. And those coins that he's selling, real silver mint coins, are not even silver at all. Some say it could be just, dipped in silver. At this point, nobody believes them anymore. So all these people have been exposed for their lies. And it's extremely important that you read up on this, because Pete Santilli, who's also talked about this on a show before he was arrested in Oregon, talked about it. Now here, about these schemes, there's a series of comments here. I'm going to put a link up on this, but there's one that is very telling. And this is how far this has gotten. Not only with Rick Wiles asking for people's estates on his own website, asking for them to donate to him their entire estate if they're going to pass away anyway. There's one here by B. Friesman on December 3rd. It says, I found a comment on a YouTube video from several months ago titled SGT Report Greg Hunter v. and Others, My Frustrations. And here's a link to that video. And it says here, look for Harry Kim in the drop down of the first comment starting with, doesn't the immediate run back up and whatever. Fair use quote. And this person quotes from this quote on that YouTube video here 4 months ago. 5 years ago, a friend of mine took some advice from some of these guys. Some of these guys are the Hagmanns, this V the Economist, and Steve Quayle. Okay? So a friend of mine took some advice from some of these guys and got $150K in physical silver. He messaged them and asked for help, but never got an answer back. When the price dropped, obviously of silver, he killed himself. You get that? he killed himself. He got his silver at $55 an ounce. There was a spot price, if you didn't know. All these guys that told him to buy said to me that guys like my friend are worthless and weak, and that they have to wait 5 years for the price to go up. Guess what? It never has gone up. I sold all my silver at an 80% loss. Not one of them. SGT Report, Greg Hunter, Mike Maloney, Gerald Salente, Pastor Dow, Bar None, Silver Futurist, Moneybag 73, all the rest meaning Steve Quayle and V the Economist and the Hagmanns. Not one of them ever said that they were sorry if they hurt anyone. They only blame me and my friend for listening to them. And for damn sure, they have never said that. They were wrong. And my pal is dead. Blew out his brains in front of his family, and I lost my entire life savings. Texas Shrugged book, they don't care. And they don't care about any of us. That's the truth. Don't spend time on them. Life is made of time. They have taken too many lives already. So I just hashtag that. I mean, really, at this point, it's getting to such an extent of the fraud and the scam artists that these guys are that nobody sees it. But people need to wake up. So I get this email today of somebody that just emailed me this link, and so I clicked on it, and I said, wow. And this is by revelationnow.net. It's revealing and disclosing the supernatural world. This is Michael Arevna's website again. And he writes an article, Alternative Media, quote, Christian Crooks and the Golden Fleece. Excellent illustration, if you ask me. Douglas Hagmann, Quayle, and V the Economist, V Vergisi, or whatever his name is, Vagisi or Vajiji, whatever. The Christian Alternative Media, I'm going to read this. This has to be on YouTube. That's why I'm making this video. This has to be documented. The supposed Christian alternative media is plagued by some unscrupulous men driven by deceitful hearts who target senior citizens for their own financial gain. Pause there. Who target senior citizens. Now, I'm in contact with Barbara Friesman, one of the victims, and there are other victims as well, by Steve Quayle and all these people who have lost their money. They've invested believing that the economy was going to collapse before 2012. But these people pushed it to the limit, scared the elderly to death on multiple radio shows nationwide, took advantage of that, and pocketed serious dough. We're talking about millions of dollars here, okay? Lying to people and sending them just supposed mint silver coins, which were not mint at all. Now, I want to show you this right now. This is from a chat I gathered, a chat conversation I gathered a while ago. We removed the personal information to protect the persons involved, but it says here 50,000. How did Quayle steal though? Why did you say he is a crook? And this happened, and then the person responds, I sent him the money to buy gold. It is a long story full of lies. I eventually got my money back. I can tell you he is not a good man. So there's multiple complaints of people all across the board saying these things. So they target the elderly. The true nature of these men is to enrich themselves using fraudulent advertising and harmful investment practices, which only they benefit financially. The psychic weapon they use against their listeners are spiritual quotes and self-proclaimed spiritual grandiose, where people fear harming the anointed. And yeah, these guys, they truly believe they are the anointed. Look, I have evidence of this. Steve Quayle with doing his hand gestures, and he's being handled by the Hagmanns. And these guys have dealings with the Clintons even. I mean, I'm not kidding. These people are bad. They've even threatened me on their own radio show to come after me. Okay? They've threatened on their radio show a Mexican journalist just for exposing their operations. And then Steve Quayle with his obsession with the occult. 666 everywhere. 6 letters on Gen 6. And then we got the keyhole, right? Peeping Tom. And then we have the 6 here. The 6, the obsession with the 6, the Gen 6 thing. Okay, the Gen 6. And then on their radio show, they constantly repeat or make references to the number 3. I'm not kidding. If you want to type out this long link here and just listen to exactly at minute 33 into this episode they did on Blog Talk Radio, we have it backed up, by the way. Exactly at minute 33, they go and they use number 3 magic on the people that are listening to the show. They repeat 3 times a series of phrases. So these people are seriously in cahoots. And it's a bigger operation. It's not only them, it's bigger. It's huge. But, you know, we can expose so much. It's you who's watching this video that has to do the reading and understand what these people are doing. The psychic weapon they use against their listeners. You see, they are anointed ones. Don't dare touch Steve Quayle, the apostle of God, who is not really an apostle at all. He steals from people. How Christian is that? And check this out. All the while executing a scheme to win the financial confidence of the listener and subsequently parlaying secret insider VG Varghese, the European banking insider, advice into a seemingly innocuous secure investment strategy when it's all a fraud, a scam. Especially since this supposed banking expert V claimed the United States economy would collapse. I told you 2014, 2015, and now 2017. This guy has not even been jailed. I mean, if you thought Kevin Trudeau was bad, these guys are scam artists on steroids. Seriously, folks, this is getting to the point where not even anybody wants to look into them. They are under investigation of what I've learned. Okay, maybe there are some FBI agents out there that are doing their work dutifully to get these people, to stop these scams. Quayle to jail, or is Quayle too big to jail? That's the main question here. The truth is, V has never worked in high-level banking, and his false banking resume, which is linked here, okay, was used like the light on the anglerfish to ensnare victims. Remember, it was Steve Quayle who read VG Varghese, the V Financial Insider's letters on the Hagmann and Hagmann report. And in fact, there's a link to that PDF. Doug Hagmann introduced V as a financial insider who knows what he's talking about, and Steve Quayle took it a step farther and described V as a high-level banking insider who did not make it to the top without knowing what he is doing. So here they're all in on it. They're all conspiring to steal from the elderly. That's a criminal conspiracy right there. Douglas Hagmann, his son, Steve Quayle, and this guy called VG Vajiji Varghese, whatever. All right, now, Steve, the Quayle. Steve Quayle, I get confused with Queef and Quayle. I'm sorry. Steve Quayle used VG Varghese's false emails, which are still available for download. Believe it. Check this out at stevequayle.com. Okay, I'm gonna download them right now. What do you think? And there they are, and I'm gonna download them just to have them backed up, because at this point, after this video, he's probably gonna just take them off his site. So there they are, to create a distrust of the American dollar at times, even a financial panic. That's what they've tried to do. Steve Quayle read over 80 emails from the financial insider, VG Varghese, and eventually VG Varghese, or Varghese, or whatever his name is, was invited onto the Hagmann and Hagmann report. different here. Vijay Varghese was fraudulently promoted on many, quote, alternative or supposed alternative radio shows, including Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. This shows a network of duplicitous individuals, or if not duplicitous, a zero vetting at the guest level to validate their credential and claims. Well, I would tell Michael Revna this. Michael, it's not about duplicitous. It's not about individuals that are shady. These are just scam artists. They're con men. They came out of university, if they ever finished it, and basically they post off as Christians, and they have a very good run at it. I mean, this is good business, isn't it? You know, lying to the people, passing off as Christians, and so on. The American Association of Retired People, the AARP, warns senior citizens about precious metal scams. So click here to read more, and they have a website about that. So, in fact, Greg Hunter, USAWatchdog.com, Ken Shortgen, RogueMoney.net, and George Norrie, host of CoastToCoastAM.com, were made aware V is a fraud and have made no response. Look at the logic of these men, where they promote a man who's a fraud and targets senior citizens to fleece them from their savings. Literally. These are wolves that are just fleecing the flock. These men are the granny robber barons, says Michael Revna of Alternative Radio. And they've been on Alex Jones too. Okay? Peppered with a speck of truth and embellished with the nth degree, or the ninth degree. Steve Quayle, Doug Hagmann, and Vijay Varghese used the Hagmann and Hagmann report to run a bait-and-switch precious metals operations. You know, I don't know what the SEC is doing, but these people have to be operating with a license, shouldn't they? I don't think they have even a license or anything. The fake investment banker, Vijay Varghese, was used to steer listeners into precious metals. You see, that's where the fix is in. That's where they scare the elderly, and then they go like, oh my God, I gotta buy silver metals because the end of the United States is coming, because Quayle said, oh my God, my coins never arrive, whatever. This was the bait where they allure, and stability of the gold silver was the financial security necessary based on the dire economic forecast from the European investment banker, Vijay Varghese. Next was the switch. The bait and the switch. You see, the switch is where the elderly customer was switched to coins. And this is a scam that the American Association for Retired Persons have warned their members about it. It is absolutely the worst approach to preserving wealth, and the transactions costs are inflated to fleece the customer and enrich the seller. You know what? At this point, and I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna put an original receipt of Barbara Friesman, who was affected by Steve Quayle. Now, this is the receipt from Renaissance Safe Trek, this company that Steve Quayle has, and this is the receipt for a total of $51,117.77. Okay, and this is the receipt. Notice how it ends in 777. That's occultic in itself. Druidic Magic by Steve Quayle right there. And I just wanted to show you this as evidence that she bought this. Okay? And he even cut her short of, I don't know how many coins, thousands of dollars. So there you go. This is the real deal, people. These people are scamming the elderly. Okay, it's so important that the FBI starts to investigate this, because this is bad. This is getting to a point where everybody's in on it if they stay silent about it. Okay, now here it is absolutely the worst approach to preserving wealth, and the transactions costs are inflated to fleece the customer and enrich the seller. Okay, there you go. So let's recap thus far and make sure understanding is crystal clear, says Michael Revna in this article. First, Steve Quayle uses the Hagmann and Hagmann report. Okay, he uses the Hags, these people. Okay, He uses them to create the secret identity of Vigi Varghese, okay? The supposed European investment banker. When Vigi Varghese is of Indian Syrian ethnicity. Syrian, you get that? A con artist from Syria in India, and has a degree in what? Nutrition, just like what, Kevin Trudeau, from the Royal Bank of Scotland. Now, after promoting insider lies for months, brainwashing the listeners, Doug Hagmann invites Vigi Varghese V, the guerrilla economist, onto a radio show as a precious metals expert. Finally, their client base never actually invests in gold or silver bars, but coins with gold or silver in them. You see, it was not even a real gold coin or a silver coin. They're just part silver. Man, they're just scamming the elderly. This is so low. These people are just not even Christian at all. I mean, they're going to burn. They're going to burn. I mean, if not in this life, the next, for doing this stuff. I mean, there's no worse thing. People committing suicide because they're getting, scammed, ripped off. This is a scam the AARP has warned senior citizens from, and over $300 million have been scammed from senior citizens in a year. $300 million. That's how good business is for the Quayles and all of them. Okay, now, here's another quote from a source. Fraud activity tends to follow market prices. Reports of gold and silver scams fell significantly in 2014 and 2015 when metal prices sank. It's hard to find reliable overall national statistics, but a 2014 report from the U.S. Senate Special Committee on Aging estimated that more than 10,000 Americans have been victimized by precious metal cons. Not coins, cons. With losses of around $300 million just in 1 year. True losses are likely higher because many victims don't know they've been duped. Well, at least Barbara Friesman has been attacking these people and saying, hey, I've been scammed and nobody's doing anything about it. And you know what? No, these guys, they're thugs. They threaten people. They threaten you. They threaten me on the air, on their own radio show, and then they wanted to hire some ex-Special Forces guy to take care of me. They did it on their show. We have the evidence. It's on my blog. Just look, Alexander Backman, Douglas Hagmann threats. You'll find it, okay? And it's amazing that these people are still getting away with it. Now, Michael Revna says here, mind you, in the midst of all their lies and deception of the Word of God is being promoted. That's even worse. I saw Steve Quayle the other day on that's his helicopter, but his own helicopter, guys. Yeah, supposedly FEMA's coming after the guy, but turns out there's more FEMA agents in Montana than anywhere else in the United States, and this guy has his own chopper. Wow, how Christian and humble is that? Oh man, have you seen his properties, man? I don't even want to talk about that. But this is a public picture on his website, okay? So there's no doubt about this. This is not invading his privacy or anything. This is on his own website. So I'm just quoting from his website, all right? This is very important for you to understand. So I mean, these people are just very smart at scamming other people, and that's what makes me so angry because it's not fair. It's not fair for the good Christian people that they get duped like this by these people that pass off as Christians. I've seen Steve Quayle on the Jim Baker show with Pastor Langford. And they're there, and they're doing their crocodile tears, and come on, please, we got to survive, and let me tell you something, God, it's so important. Let me tell you, most people don't understand. What most people don't know is the fact that America will get nuked by Russian agents, and what most people don't know, what people fail to realize, and I just created a new word in my dictionary, and Yeah, but you got to buy the coins. You see, you got to buy the coins because I got V the Varghese guy telling you to. He's an expert, okay, in money scams and all that stuff. So Steve Quayle, the scam artist, with VG Varghese operating and using the Hagmanns radio show, which is receiving serious financing because they've grown exponentially because of, obviously, who's reaping the benefits. His main financier, Mr. SQ himself. So excuse me. Let's go back to the article here. And these are the very men who I believe are aligned with like-spirited men who convincingly quote scripture and claim to be watchmen on the front lines. They are always quick to throw out, "Touch not my anointed." Oh man, you can't even say anything to Steve Quayle. At Steve Quayle, his email, which ends in 777, by the way, also, he rebukes you. You are evil because you tell him the truth. Well, because he's not Christian at all. Okay? And because this alleviates, says Michael Arevna, them from suspicion or threatening actions from their victims. Oh, dare not attack a Christian. They're not even Christians. These people need to go to jail. Why would the Lord direct these men to commit fraud and steer senior citizens into a precious metal scam? Because it is not the Most High behind these men, but the father of lies. Who does VG Varghese look in the mirror after blatantly lie to the listening audience and being party to fleecing the retirement accounts in a coin scam, Ponzi schemes? In my opinion, says Michael Arevna, these are the behaviors of people suffering with clinical psychosis. There is no more right or wrong, only what is right for them. Anyone who was close enough to uncovering their senior citizen scam was immediately attacked by their shills. I'm one of them. Or had a radio show dedicated to slandering them. There's so many out there. Marinka Peshman, other journalists, I was threatened. I mean, and the victims coming forward and not being interviewed. I mean, at this point, I'm going to interview Barbara Friesman in my next video and see what she has to say about all of this. So all the while, the precious metals scam continued. And one senior citizen, says here, who will remain anonymous, shared copies of documentation of the Renaissance precious metals, one of many of Steve Quayle's company's transaction, where she ordered 1,600 Buffalo silver coins at $31 each, and only 1,500 were shipped. You see, that's where the scam is. Not only this happened to this person, it happened to Barbara Friesman as well. I just showed you the receipt. Okay, she said she was not sent the whole amount of coins either. And then Steve Quayle said, oh, I'm sorry, I think we didn't count the coins correctly. I was like $5,000 short. But that's robbery. Okay, that's robbing somebody. Okay, they're robbing you of your money. So after Steve Quayle was done with her on the phone, she donated $1,000 to Doug Hagmann and $1,000 to a prayer intercessor. The remaining $1,300 balance was settled with a pre-1965 silver coins. So here's the address. Here's I don't know what this is. This is like the receipt, or the shipping method, and this is what was sent. You tell me. This is how you handle. These are supposed silver coins from the time of 1900s, the late 19. I used to collect coins. I studied numismatics. I know these coins. These are like 5-cent coins. They're scamming people. I mean, they sell these silver coins per kilo in bags. I mean, any numismatic connoisseur knows that. So they're selling coins, but look at the coins. These are nickels. My God, Buffalo silver nickels. Of course, she took an immediate loss when the transaction was complete because of the markups and invisible costs she was not aware of. This is why the AARP warns senior citizens not to get involved with gold or silver coins, Steve Quayle, one of them, as a way of preserving wealth. Do you really believe a high-level investment banker would steer you into precious metal coins? Precious. Do you think this is precious? My precious. My precious. This is what Steve Quayle, Doug Hagmann, and VG, the V Varghese, made people believe. There is actually a formula at play here, which is fraudulent banking credentials plus radio promotion equals precious metal coin sales. Duh. Because there's so much subjectivity in the value of coins, it's always ripe for deception, says Dama Brown, Regional Director of the Federal Trade Commission's Southwest Division. Well, Dama Brown, why don't you investigate Steve Quayle, Vijay Varghese, and all these people and really start a federal investigation and have them put in jail? Or at least that they return everything they stole from people. Now, do you understand why this supposed ministry, what this supposed ministry is really about? It's a druidic witch coven. We have evidence of this, all right? But we can't go public with it because, hey, you can't invade a person's privacy anymore. So I'm not going to say anything else, but how can a ministry that lies and deceives be about the Most High? Well, they can't. And this was nothing more than an online scam where senior citizens were victimized by a polished, fraudulent presentation. VG, the V Varghese, was wrong to claim he's a European investment banker working for the Royal Bank of Scotland in London. No, it's a fraud when his actual claim to fame is banking. As in banking, was a position as assistant branch manager at a Citizens Bank branch. Steve Quayle had a responsibility to background check VG. No, he didn't. He won't do it. You see, Quayle, I'm not going to say anything more. You can't even trust the guy. He's so unprofessional, unethical. You cannot even imagine what this guy does. VG to verify all of his unrealistic and grandiose banking claims. So instead, he promoted VG regularly, Quayle, on the Hagmann and Hagmann report, and they all profited immensely. Yes, they did. They profited selling little silver coins to the elderly and stealing their cash. So cash for little coins that have a little bit of silver, a little bit of gold in them. Yeah. A little bit of, yeah, George, what people fail to know is that, my coins, all the coins I sell, they go directly to my chopper. And with my chop, I go over Montana, just take these nice photographs, and I'm just selling these little buffalo coins, and making good profit. The smoking gun and inescapable fact is Steve Quayle, Doug Hagmann, and Vijay Varghese used biblical scripture and fraudulent business practices to ensnare senior citizens into a known coin scam where the AARP warned its members to beware. They used Christianity as a beacon and to avoid detection as being con men. But the proof is in Vijay Varghese's resume. And the fact coins are not the answer for protecting your wealth. It is a different ball of wax if you are a true numismatic coin collector who knows the ins and outs of various minted coins. And I know what a minted coin looks like. These senior citizens are not them. They are people who trusted that V was telling the truth based on his high-level banking credentials, which nobody saw, and Steve Quayle, who promoted him and said, this is the real deal. Look, all my contacts, all the people I have in my website, everybody, the Navy SEALs, the 4-star generals, all of them are telling me right now, this is going down, people. This is going down. 2004, he said it. It's coming down, people. This is happening now. You got to get into gold, get into silver. Do it now. 2005, same thing. Al Qaeda is going to attack us. It's imminent. Nukes everywhere. Nothing happened. 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. It's happening now. It's happening now. FEMA, they're at my house. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is bad. Please buy the coins. Buy the coins. VG Varghese. Oh my God. The dollar's collapsing. Oh my God. You got to invest now. Invest now. And they scared so many people. The elderly. All right. So these senior citizens are not them. They are people who trusted that V was telling the truth based on his high-level banking credentials. And Steve Quayle and Douglas Hagmann are true men of God. There was even a comment on a YouTube video where a man invested $150,000 into a precious metals coin scam and lost his shirt in the transaction. He was said to have been so distraught he committed suicide. Did you hear that? That's what I just read to you. That's from this website, okay? Which is excellent. Tracking the leopard meros or meros. You gotta just go to tracking meros with a Z. .wordpress.com. You'll find it. I'll put the link in the description. This is great stuff because finally, I mean, at least normal blokes just like you and I. Well, I'm a journalist, but other people that are writing about this stuff. This cannot continue. These men are hurting people, and the Holy Spirit has nothing to do with them. Of course not. I know I am disgusted to know they peddle scripture as part of their act. Yeah. Which makes this a spiritual crime as well, of course. You do not have to take my perspective on these frauds because the AARP has warned their very members of frauds like Steve Quayle, Doug Hagmann, and VG Varghese V, the guerrilla economist. There is nothing lower than to target the elderly and their retirement funds so you can prosper. Check out the car. That's VG Varghese's car. Now we know how VG Varghese gifted himself with a souped-up Dodge Charger from the blood, sweat, and tears of his senior citizen victims. Now we know how Steve Quayle could afford his own chopper time. Oh yeah, baby. Thank you. Right? Check this out. VG Varghese once told me, says Michael Arevna, he netted over $6 million in precious metal sales for Steve Quayle's company, Renaissance Precious Metals. And now we know the precious metals, my precious, were actually coin sales, which usually lose the victim money. Okay, so that's how they run the scam operation. How anyone can continue to support these lowly con men who operate without a conscience is beyond me. Anyone reading this, claiming these men are anointed and do not recognize the fact these men are scamming victims with precious metal coins, need to be psychologically evaluated. Well, Michael, I've been attacked just for speaking out about this stuff. I've been attacked. They have a whole group of thugs online, attacking people that speak about this. Also, mind you, that this is part of a bigger operation. Steve Quayle not only runs the money operation, he's like the front guy for a lot of other people that are in on this. He's like a front guy. He's like the front company. There's more behind Steve Quayle than meets the eye. I just want to say that. There are crimes being committed on the radio. Oh yeah, like threatening journalists. And I would not be surprised that this turns out to be a money laundering operation. Bingo, Michael. Bingo. That's what I'm saying. Steve Quayle is too big to jail. Doug Hagmann, yeah, he can threaten me and then use his radio show to hire, mercs to come after me and my family. Yeah, he can threaten journalists using his online platform. Yeah, why not do that? and beef up the project, Doug, and start threatening Alex Backman on your show. Go ahead and do it. For the guy in Mexico, we know where you are. We're watching you. That's what you did to me, right, Doug? Well, now, people are finally understanding what you're doing. Doug Hagmann can continue to blather on the radio. He is under attack. By the way, his stuttering is just an act. I've talked to people that have been with him. He never stutters. But hi everybody. Welcome to the Douglas Hagmann and Hagmann show. And I'm Doug Hagmann. And let me just tell you that this guest we're gonna have on right now. Yeah, he's great. He brings it forward. He's a real economist. He comes from Europe, and he works for the big banks. The Royal Bank of Scotland, I believe. And he's great. Yeah, V, the guerrilla economist. We're not going to say his real name because, you see, he's still working in that secret bank of the Illuminati, and he's in on it. He knows the tricks of the trade, and he's right here on the show right now. But first, I want Steve Quayle to speak to us for 2 hours without any commercial breaks about this great guy V, because he's going to change your life. I mean, these are true men of God. I swear, because they changed me, and my new house, and then Steve Quayle's new chopper. All this is coming thanks to you for listening to our show. So let's get on with it. And Steve, welcome to the show. You see, that's what they're doing. That's what they do. My God, you can't make this stuff up. But and then Michael Revna finishes his article by saying, but the moral of the story is, do not do the crime if you cannot do the time. The questioning of the integrity of these men would not be in question if they had integrity. Right? So, Michael Revna, congratulations for this excellent opinion and article on these people that are really just, scamming the population. My name is Alex Backman, and I just wanted to share this with you. Let's just do something quickly. If you go to truenews.com, there's another scam operation going on there. If you go here to donate, okay, here it is. If you go here to donate, because that's a big red button, right? Donate. Give me your money. Notice the lie. Support True News to help build a global news network that provides a credible source for world news. Lie after lie. He's been building a radio station all across Latin America for years now, and nothing gets built. Hey, look, check it out. You can donate how much you want to donate. I would donate $1 million. Can I do that? 100 billion? A trillion? 20? Oh my God, you can do that. Is that amazing? There's no limit to these people. Oh no, I'm going to do a recurrent donation, monthly. Now wait, why do that and give all my data to these people? You can pay credit, checking, savings. Oh, they're so Christian. But wait, not only that. Look, you can donate via PayPal or send us checks, money orders, or what? Precious metals. So maybe all the elderly that got scammed by Steve Quayle and V, the guerrilla economist, could send their precious metals back to Rick Wiles, and that way they can just recycle the coins, giving them back to Steve Quayle again and doing this, circle of trust thing they got going on. And then your privacy is important to us. Yeah, give us all your address. And then, note, when choosing credit card, you will be prompted to enter information pressing the donate button. Here it is. This is the one you're going to love. Other ways to donate. Donate, give stock, or bequests. This is what really got me. I mean, there's no limit to these people. Oh my God. Just do a bequest to us, please. Okay, do a bequest. If you're gonna die and you're part of the elderly, you know, okay, while at the same time maintaining control of your assets during your lifetime, please simply make a distribution through a living will, a trust, or life insurance policy. Well, consider directing a portion of your marketable securities, cash, and other assets to True News. You can't make this stuff up. These people are asking for people's estates online. Your bequest can be as easy as including one of these simple phrases in your existing documents. They're asking the elderly, if you're dying, you're on your deathbed, and you're drafting your will, your living will, please just say this: I bequeath the sum of $25,000 to True News, Flowing Streams Church, Vero Beach, Florida. You can't make this stuff up, people. He's asking for 25 G's on the spot. Or you can also put this in your will: I devise and bequeath 10% of the remainder and residue of property owned at my death, whether real or personal, and wherever located, to True News. Blah, 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 blah. Where's the IRS on these people? Contingent bequests. If my brother John Doe survives me, I devise and bequeath 10% and remainder and residue of the property owned at my death, whether real or personal, and wherever located, to John Doe. If John Doe does not survive me, then I devise and bequeath 10% of the residuary estate, whether real or personal property, and wherever located, to True News, Flowing Streams Church, Vero, Florida, Vero Beach, Florida, blah, 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 blah. Now, if you still have doubts on how to do it, we'll send somebody over to your house and draft your will for you. Don't worry. You can trust us. Oh, my God. It's gotten to that point. That's why I wanted to show you this stuff. This is bad. I think not even Jim Baker from the Jim Baker Show asks for people's estates, does he? Jim Baker Show? Is that the guy? Let me see. Jim Baker Show. He's big too, right? He's had Steve Quayle on. They all cry there. Welcome. Donations. Is the donate right there. Wow, I got scared with that picture right there, but anyway. And going here to the donate button. One-time donation. Okay. Donate to us, policies, and that's it. No, at least he's not asking for bequests. Wow. And anyway, well, at least they're more decent than others. But anyway, I just want to show that to you, and I'll put the links in the video. And oh, this is another guy. This guy, Dave Hodges, he promotes Steve Quayle on all his websites. He tells people, buy the coins, buy the coins. There's another guy in on it. I mean, if you had like a wall and you're an FBI agent and you're obsessed with these people, trying to investigate them, you would have a wall in your office or apartment at home, and you'd be connecting this string, from one thumbnail to another and so on, connecting the pieces of the entire operation. This is huge. This is not just Steve Quayle. There are a lot of people in on this. That's why it gets so dangerous, because the higher and the bigger the expose of these people, the worse it gets. The worse it gets. This from their website, from V.G. Varghesi's website. V, the guerrilla economist, has worked for some of the top commodity trading firms and investment banks in the world, which is a huge lie. His track record is uncanny and well documented on his appearances with Steve Quayle and Doug Hagmann, which is another lie. Wow. I mean, I'm just saying. These people are just liars, scam artists, and it's gotten to that point. Please don't listen to them anymore. They are frauds. Don't listen to them anymore. These people are outright frauds, and they should be, you know, they should be investigated. Personally, I think they should be investigated. They get to a point of being dangerous to society. Okay, so please read the articles and tell everybody you know, especially the elderly, don't fall for these people. All right. Well, my name is Alex Backman. Greeting you all. Bye bye.